It was Monday, it was wash day, and the wind had getting up, and you could see that me mother was itching to get all her washing hung out on the line instead of the pulley that hung in the kitchen. "A good drying day's a blessing," she said, dragging the mangle out into the yard. "Your clears'll all smell of fresh air for a change, instead of them stinking a lard." Now, Mrs. Next Door lived, next door. She was 17 stone thereabouts, and was laughed at the size of her bloomers on a wash day when she had them hung out. Her son Oscar next door wasn't half a big lad. He wanted to be 17 stone slimmer, but he never really got round to it because he never missed that many dinners. He'd a waistline the size of a coastline, just a geet dollop of spam, and underpants the size of an 8-yarder skip a reet hassle to wash for his mum. She could only get one pair in the tub at a time. When they were wet they weighed nigh on a ton, so she was still pegging stuff out on the line when the neighbours had their ironing done. There was one pair of pants was his favourites, and him not being the sort to wear thongs, these were geet belly warming apple catchers, purple nylon with polka dots on. Took her 6 pegs to get her out of the line. With the wind blowing she had a reet job. She had just enough strength left in her poor soul to fill the kettle to put on the hob. She was looking out the scullery window and she nearly dropped dead with a fright, cause there was Oscar's best Y-fronts setting off over the roofs like a kite. The end of the clearsline had pulled itself loose. Dogs was all starting to bark, cause the wind had getting into his Y-fronts like the mainsail on the old cutty sark. Oscar was doing his allotment. He seen them gan past. He thought, "Them underpants look just like mine." Then he realised the war when he seen their back wall was still dangling on the end of the line. Now Joby the ragman had just parked his horse and given it a nose bag of grub, while he negotiated for an old copper boiler from his wife that had bought a twin tub. He seen the clays fall, thought his prayers had come true, a whole cartload of clays from the sky. But the horse, poor lad, he wasn't too chuffed when the trolleys went slap round his eyes. He showed his annoyance by shaking his head, then nodding it fast up and down. Then he's up on his back legs like Trigger and hurtled off down the street towards town. Oscar had heard the commotion and come to see what was the crack. When he seen what a state the poor horse had been in, he went back for a shovel and sack. Now Mondays, apart from wash days, is the market, and the town's fair bursting at the seams, with all manner of stalls, vans and trailers, and a Wals's bloke selling ice creams. Why the horse just galloped on through there, stood on 100 folks' toes, with his lugs sticking out through the leg holes and the guzzle slapped tight round his nose. He's still dragging the clays line behind him, picking up all manner of stuff. There's someone's brolly, a trolley, and 2 border collies, and a Wals's bloke who wasn't too chuffed. He got to the end of the market, he'd run out of puff. He'd run out of High Street and all. He went straight up the steps and through the front doors of the Plodgeborough District Town Hall. Young Wallace the Police was forced on the scene and started to look around for clues. The vicar's wife said, "There's Kex or Oscars," and then she blushed when folks asked how she knew. I was filling the scuttle out in the yard when the police van pulled down the back rars. They opened the back doors, pulled out a brick wall, a clays line and Oscar's best drawers. They said they wouldn't be pressing any charges, it had been a fluke, act of God so to speak. But Oscar was still getting embarrassed, didn't show his face in the club for a week. They still talk of the day that his underpants took flight, and some folks can be a bit mean. But Mrs. Next Door, she can hold her head high, cause the underpants involved had been clean.